Well, the money people gave us a overview on the current use and the projected use of the stabilization and stimulus funds. And it looks like we'll be able to carry something like $900 million worth of stabilization funds into the fiscal year 11 budget. Even with that, we are almost certainly going to have a budget in fiscal year 11 which is smaller than the budget in fiscal year 10, even including the stimulus money, or stabilization money.
Is that worse than you had anticipated?
Well, I'm kind of the Cassandra on this. I'm kind of the most pessimistic. I think we could be as much as $500 million lower in general revenue in 11 than we are in 10. But I think I'm probably too pessimistic when I say that. But I think we're almost certainly going to be down something, and we have to be extremely prudent. And what this does is kind of reinforces the thinking of the governor's office when he made these withholdings. The money just plain isn't there.
So the projection for the future is bad then?
Yes, and because it's a projection, we don't know exactly how bad. And having been here before, I know that it's much safer to be conservative on this stuff. You can solve a problem where you spend too little a lot easier than you can solve a problem where you spend too much. I don't think we're going to override anything.
Is it going to even come up for a vote, or does it have to come up for a vote, some of them?
I just don't know the answer to that.
Given the budgetary situation as well as the declining revenues, what does this mean for the withholdings on Ellis Fischel? Do you think that that project might not get funded at all anymore?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Do you think that, this year you had a bill with a lot of different projects that were funded with stimulus money, and I talked with Ryan Silvey earlier, and he sort of indicated that chances of that happening again this year are pretty low, and all that stimulus money is going to go to fill the budget. Is that what you think as well?
In general. There may be some exceptions, but I think that Ryan is generally right about that.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't have a value judgment for it. I think it's reality.
Mm-hmm. Think if I have any other questions. What other, I'm trying to think of anything else. Do you think if there's any other things in the FY10 budget that could get further withheld or cut specifically that you can think of right now?
I think almost certainly the governor will be forced to do more withholdings.
Mm-hmm. One thing that's been floated around is the judiciary as well. Have you heard about that?
I don't have any insight into the governor's thinking on this, but I know that the numbers are inexorable. I don't know how he avoids some future withholding. Not because anybody wants him to, but because Missouri is required to have a balanced budget, and the money's just plain not there. It's a matter of fact.
The only other thing I can think of is you called for a special session to deal with the bond issue that you had been proposed. Obviously that didn't happen. Is there any hope?
Didn't happen yet.
Do you think there's still hope for that? Do you think it could still work given the time that's passed?
To the extent that either the executive or the legislature are committed to job growth in the state of Missouri, we will have a special session on the bond issue. The bond issue is by orders of magnitude the greatest possible producers of jobs. It dwarfs every single other effort on job creation by a long shot. And if we want to do jobs, and the work is important, we borrow the money least expensively and we get the work done. And we put actual people to work in real live private sector jobs very soon.
Do you think that Lieutenant Governor Kinder and other Republicans hurt that effort when they came out against it publicly?
Well, it was a bump in the road, but I believe that Speaker Richard and Lieutenant Governor Kinder will be there when we need them.
Okay.
With the projection that came out today,